Today's lesson is topic writing, writing a descriptive essay. Hi, everybody. I'm Roger.
And I'm Hanny.
And in this month's edition of Topic Writing, we're going to be writing a descriptive essay. An essay, of course, is a bunch of words that you put together on a piece of paper and hand it into your teacher for a grade. But in this particular case, it's a descriptive essay. It's an essay in which you describe something. And in today's lesson, we're going to be talking about the 5 senses and how we describe things, especially in terms of nostalgia.
好，那我们来看看这个月的主题式写作呢，是关于 writing a descriptive essay。那么 descriptive 它是形容词，形容描述性的啊，描写的，描绘的。那么 descriptive essay 就是可以借由生动的文字描写来帮助读者在脑海里面勾勒出清楚具体的图像，就好像他们自己也身临其境一样。所以我们在对人啊、事物、地点、情境等等在进行描述时，就可以透过一些感官细节的描写，让读者留下深刻的印象，像是看到了什么啊，听到了什么，闻到了什么，感觉到什么等等。好，那我们现在就来进行练习写作吧。好，那我们的主题式写作现在要练习的就是，像我们有时候听到一首歌，可能会想起某人，闻到某个味道，可能会回想起过往某个经验。那我们的感官经验通常可以保留很久，等到被触发的时候，就可以回想起当时回忆里面那个过往呢所感受到的事情。所以我们可以来试试看，有用一些形容词啊来描述我们五官的感受。
Indeed, and of course we're writing a descriptive essay focusing on the 5 senses of sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. So if you're talking about sight or using your eyes, something might be shiny, it might be colorful, it might be dark. If we're talking about hearing, it might be noisy, like the street or something, and whispering. It's like really soft when somebody's trying to talk to you and tell you a secret or something. You could also talk about the smell of something. If it's fruity and tastes like fruit, it might be very tasty. Or if it's smoky, like a fire, or if it's stinky, like chou tofu, or stinky tofu, it might be kind of stinky. And if we're talking about taste, you're using your tongue to be bitter. It might be spicy, kind of hot. Or it might be salty, or it also might be sour. You got to be careful about that. And of course, we're also talking about touching things. It might be kind of sticky, where you have to wash your hands. It might be fuzzy, like the skin of a peach, or it might be smooth, like the skin of an apple.
好，所以谢谢 Roger 老师刚刚帮我们举了一些五官感受的这种例子。那现在我们要写这个作文呢，第一段就要来概述感官经验能够让人回想起过往的回忆。那么第二段呢，就是要描述一段你的感官经验，还有所触发的记忆与感受。好，那我们现在就来看看第一段的一开始，我们的课文范例告诉我们可以怎么写。
Right, this is the first sentence of our essay. I'm sometimes amazed at how our senses can instantly remind us of specific moments in our lives. So this is kind of the introductory sentence. It kind of tells us what we're going to be describing. We're going to be talking about senses and how they remind us of things that happened in the past. It gives us a lot of nostalgia.
好，所以我们来看看呢，这边课文范例一开始写说，有时候啊，我对我们的感官如何能立刻让我们回想起生活中特定的时刻而感到惊奇，所以这就是把我们的五官，然后跟过往的这些回忆做连结，然后来带出我们的主题。那换你写写看，也许你也可以说，我们的感官呢具有非凡的能力，能够透过让我们回想起生活中特定的人啊，或是经验，然后带我们回到过去这样。那同学们可以试着写写看你的版本。那我们来请 Roger 老师告诉我们，换你写写看可以怎么写。
Yep, here's what you might say. Our senses have a remarkable power to take us back in time by reminding us of specific people and experiences in our lives. Indeed, our senses have that power to do this. They can take us back in time and remind us of things that happened in the past. For example, the salty taste of an ocean breeze can transport me back to family vacations at the beach. Meanwhile, the sound of colorful fall leaves crunching beneath my feet brings back nostalgic memories of walking to school with my older brother. Our senses have this magical ability to unlock memories and take us on a journey through time. So this is what you might say. You could mention some examples here. Salty, the salty taste of the ocean air can make you think of the family vacations you took many years ago, or the crunching sound, that kind of crackly sound underneath your feet, walking on fallen leaves in northern parts of the world, that can remind you of walking to school with your older brother.
好，那我们刚刚做了一个这样的开头，说这个感官让我们回想起过去的时刻嘛。可是你光是这样写太抽象了，我们可以举一些例子，给一点具体的说明。那像课文他就写到说，像海风的咸味可以让他仿佛回到海滩上的那种家庭度假啊，然后还有像那种色彩缤纷的叶子踩在脚上面沙沙作响，那样好像卡兹卡兹的那种声音啊，会勾起跟哥哥一起走路上学的怀旧回忆。好，有这样的具体例子，那回到画你写写看呢？也许呢是祖母阿嬷花园里面她种的某一种花的香味，让你就会想到阿嬷，或者是某一首特定歌曲会让你想起某一段过往的恋情，那你就会觉得说，哇，这些任何一种感官经验就好像可以通往过去的入口。好，那我们来学一下一个字叫做 portal， P-O-R-T-A-L， 它可以指入口，那你就可以用 a portal to 点点点来表达通往什么的入口。好，那同学们也可以想想看有什么样具体的例子可以提供，让你的文章里面更生动这样。那我们来请 Roger 老师告诉我们，换你写写看可以怎么说。
And here's what you might write. For instance, or for example, the smell of a certain flower that my grandmother grew in her garden instantly reminds me of her, just as a particular song reminds me of an old romance. And in this way, any one of our senses can become a powerful portal to the past. So our eyes, our ears, our noses, our mouths, etc., all those things can transport us to the past.
Well, that reminds me of an old song, Yesterday Once More.
Yeah, the Carpenters, yeah.
对，木匠兄妹他们就是关于这个广播里面听到一首歌，让他想起小时候有听这个歌啊，然后就想到歌词内容，到现在他还会被触动。也许同学们可以去听听看，然后感受一下一个作文呢，可以怎么去很生动的去描述过往经验。好，那我们接着要进入第二段，是要描述一段令你印象深刻的感官经验，可以善用修饰语来让你这段回忆的描述更加鲜明。好，那我们来看看课文范例它怎么写。
Okay, so here's the introductory part. It says, but there's one particular keepsake that really triggers a lot of great memories for me. My first baseball bat. It was a gift from my father, so it always reminds me of our shared love of the game of baseball. Now, a keepsake, of course, is something that you keep because it is very special to you. You have lots of fine memories or sweet memories associated with that thing. And in this particular case, the keepsake that really triggers a lot of great memories is this person's first baseball bat, because it was a gift from the writer's father. And of course, they had this relationship. They had this shared love of the game of baseball.
好，我们看课文范例，他提到说有一个特别的纪念品触发了他很多美好的回忆，就是他的第一支棒球棒，那是父亲送给他的，那这就会让他想起他跟父亲共同对这项运动的喜爱。好，那我们来看看，换你写写看，也许你有一个美好回忆的那种特别物品是一把吉他好了，也许是旧的电吉他，然后是爸妈送给你的，那你看到这个吉他就会想起爸妈，这样写也可以。那我们请 Roger 老师告诉我们可以怎么换你写写看。
Yep, here's part 3. It says, one particular item that brings back some wonderful memories for me is my old electric guitar. It may not be a Fender Stratocaster or a Gibson Les Paul, but still, it's very special. My parents gave it to me for my birthday, so it always makes me think of them. And, well, for me personally, I have that same feeling, but it's about an old cornet and not about an electric guitar.
好，那我们再来看到课文范例，他接着就提到说，那个握着球棒的一些触感啊，然后勾起了什么样的回忆，很用具体的、很生动的描述。那我们请 Roger 老师大概带我们看一下这个课文范例怎么写。
Yeah, now we're talking about the baseball bat again. It says, when I hold that bat in my hands, it feels as though I've returned to those long summer days I spent playing baseball. As I run my fingers along the smooth wooden surface, I can almost feel the vibrations of making contact and hear the crack of the bat and my teammates' cheers. I remember the thrill of hitting a home run and the fun of celebrating our victories. So yes, the writer here is holding the baseball bat In his hands, he feels the smooth wooden surface, and it reminds him of games he used to play, especially when he hit the ball. There was the crack of the bat, and then his teammates would cheer, "Yay, you got a home run!" And, of course, he had the thrill of hitting a home run, and that bat reminds him of all those things.
好，我们看看课文范例，他就有提到说，握住那只球棒的时候，感觉就回到那些打棒球的漫长夏日。那接着这边可以学起来，他就说手指沿着这个光滑木头表面划过的时候，哇，那很有画面诶。Run my fingers along the smooth wooden surface， 手指沿着光滑木头表面划过。好，然后呢，他又提到说，这让他几乎能够感受到击球的那个震动，还有呢，听到这个球棒猛烈一击，击到球那种锵的那种声音，然后队友们欢呼，你就想象一堆人好像抱在一起，哇，就是非常生动的一个画面。好，那换你写写看，我们回到刚刚说的那把电吉他，也许你可以提到就是手指这样轻轻摸过这个弦的那种感受啊，然后让你回想起以前无数个小时的练习，也许你一直在练你最爱的歌曲他们的和弦，还有听到这些乐曲乐音呢，也会让你想起跟朋友们欢唱的时光。好，那我们请 Roger 老师告诉我们，换你写写看可以怎么写。
Yep, here's part 4. Back to the guitar again. When I pick it up and feel the strings beneath my fingers, it takes me back to the countless hours I spent practicing in my bedroom, diligently trying to learn the chords to my favorite songs. He was doing it diligently with a lot of effort. And hearing the notes of those songs takes me right back to singing them together with all my friends. So, yes, they probably started a band there, and he played the guitar, and he sang these songs together with his friends. And yes, indeed, these are very special memories associated with that electric guitar.
好，那我们接着回到课文范例。你在描述这些具体例子之后呢，你要在最后再把它稍微包装一下 ，wrap it up， 然后让这个触摸球棒的那个感受触发起你的回忆，来做一个简短的总结，这样子。所以像课文范例，他就有提到说，触摸那只球棒，就让他重温了一段非常快乐和纯真的时光，好像就只是昨天一样这样。好，那我们请 Roger 老师帮我说说看，课文范例他到底怎么说的。
And we're back to the baseball bat again. It says, just touching the bat lets me relive a time of great joy and innocence. It seems like only yesterday. Indeed, a lot of our memories are like that. It seems like it just happened yesterday, although it was many years ago.
真的有一些回忆好像昨天才发生一样，可是可能已经过了10几20年了，对不对？好，那换你写写看。我们回到刚刚讲这个吉他，我们也稍微把它 wrap it up。也许可以讲说，听到音乐啊，或是感受到这个吉他的触感，这些感官经验，就好像帮你创造出一台时光机一样，让你可以这样穿梭回到过去，然后怀念起过去的快乐时光，像这样。好，那我们请 Roger 老师帮我们说说看，换你写写看怎么写。
And here's part 5 regarding the guitar, the sound of the music, the feel of the guitar. The senses combine to create a kind of time machine that always makes me nostalgic for those happy days. Of course, if you're nostalgic, you're thinking with great sweetness about things that happened in the past, like maybe your childhood or your school days.
Nostalgic 就是怀旧的嘛，它的名词就是 nostalgia。好，那我们现在看完这些写作练习，接着我们要准备来读我们的课文范文咯。
Okay, so here's our example essay in part 2. And the title is The Memories Triggered by a Baseball Bat. To trigger just means to make something happen. And indeed, when this person had the baseball bat, it reminded him or her of baseball games in the past. I'm sometimes amazed at how our senses can instantly remind us of specific moments in our lives. It can make us think of those things. For example, the salty taste of an ocean breeze can transport me back to family vacations at the beach. Maybe they went to Fulong or someplace like that. Meanwhile, the sound of colorful fall leaves crunching beneath my feet brings back nostalgic memories of walking to school with my older brother. Yes, indeed, during the fall, the leaves come off of the trees, especially the maple trees, and they dry out. And when you walk on those leaves, they kind of make a crunching sound. And you can feel nostalgic about something like that, especially if you're going to school with your sibling, with your older brother in this case. Our senses have this magical ability to unlock memories, to let them go and take us on a journey through time.
好，我们先看到标题里面有一个单字是 trigger。trigger 当名词其实可以指这个枪的那个扳机，我们说扣扳机，对不对？那么它当动词就可以表达引起、促使或者是触发的那种意思。好，那再看到这个段落呢，它有用到 transport somebody back to 加上名词的方法。那么 transport 它有运输运送的意思，在这边它则是指说让某人感觉像置身在某个时空中，就好像把你传送到另外一个时空的那种感觉。好，那我们接着来看下一个段落。
Here's the next paragraph. It says, but there's one particular keepsake that really triggers a lot of great memories for me. My first baseball bat. So your keepsakes, of course, are things that you keep that you've accumulated over your life and you want to keep them because they have special meaning for you. And in this particular case, the writer's favorite keepsake is his baseball bat. It was a gift from my father, so it always reminds me of our shared love of the game. They both loved baseball. They probably listened to baseball games on the radio and made comments and checked out all the statistics about all the players. When I hold that bat in my hands, it feels as though I've returned to those long summer days I spent playing baseball. Indeed, most people play baseball during the summer because it's nice and warm during that time. You can't really play baseball in the winter, although I've done it before. There was actually a softball tournament in my hometown played in the dead of winter, but again, most baseball games are played during the hot summer days. And as I run my fingers along the smooth wooden surface, as I feel the surface of the bat with my fingers, I can almost feel the vibrations of making contact and hear the crack of the bat and my teammates' cheers. Vibration is when something moves and creates sound. So, of course, when your bat hits a ball, you'll feel those vibrations through the bat. They might actually hurt a little bit, depending on how hard you hit the ball. But when you hit the ball, of course, you're going to have that crack sound, and then the ball will fly out of the park. It's a home run! And, of course, the teammates will cheer. I remember the thrill or the excitement of hitting a home run and the fun of celebrating our victories. We celebrated every game that we won. Just touching the bat lets me relive a time of great joy and innocence. It seems like only yesterday. So yes, during the time of innocence, we're young and we haven't begun to be bitter and cynical about life.
好，那我们来看到第二个段落里面，一开始他有提到 there's one particular keepsake， 这个 keepsake 就可以指纪念品的意思哦。好，那接着我们来看到这个段落的最后面呢，他有提到说 just touching the bat lets me relive a time of great joy and innocence。 注意一下 relive R-E-L-I-V-E 它是及物动词，表示重温回味。这个 R-E 这个 re 就有那种重复再次的意思，那不要把它跟另外一个单词叫 relieve把这两个字搞混哦。 R-E-L-I-E-V-E relieve 是缓和减轻，relive 则是重温回味。然后呢，最后我们看到这边 It seems like only yesterday， 它字面意思是恍如昨日，就像昨天一样，那就是用来形容某件事似乎才刚发生一样。好，那就像我们一开始有提到这个 Yesterday Once More 那首歌，它也就是好像在讲说昨日重现哦，把过去的事情好像重现在眼前一样这样。
Okay, that brings us to the end of our lesson for this month.And we are very happy to have had you with us for our topic writing unit for the month of September. And we look forward to seeing you again next month. From all of us here at All+ Interactive English, I'm Roger.
And I'm Hanny.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.